What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Got a pretty normal vlog for you guys today. Got a lot of cool things going on with the business that I want to keep you guys updated with. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're new here to the channel, my name is Ryan. I started a 3D printing business about 7 months ago and then started documenting that journey about 4 months in. So taking you along the journey as a first-time small business owner, doing all this stuff for the first time so you don't have to. So let's start with what's printing currently on the printers. Behind me, I have one A1 combo that just finished up a poker chip set of cookie cutters. So have that combo set going behind me. I think it just finished up. I'll take that off the printer. Something I was messing around with my cookie cutters was I was getting a really weird texture when it would finish up the blade. I have it print with the handles on the build plate, and then the blades are what is printed last. It's facing upward. And for some reason, I was getting a really inconsistent finish on the blade itself. And personally, I feel like the blade is probably the most important part. That's what's making the indentation in the dough, making the cookie. And if the blade's not sharp or exactly the way you want it to be, the shape's not going to be exactly the way you want it to be. So I was getting a really inconsistent finish on some of those blades. So did some research, asked some friends in the 3D printing space what they do, some ideal settings to maybe mitigate some of those issues. Messed around with them, sliced them, and it looks like they came out great. I have one example here of the diamond cutter and the blade, man. Not only were the walls, I think, a little bit more solid, but the blade itself is so refined and there's no blemishes. I tested it with some dough myself. It came out really well. So I'm excited to get these off the plate and apply this to all of my cookie cutter sets that I sell. All right, I had to take them off with two hands off the Super Tack plate, but they came out great. Honestly, the blades are all very consistent. It fixed the issue that I was having yesterday, and these are ready to go. I'm going to take them off, hit them with the torch real quick to get some strings off, and they're ready to ship out tomorrow. So if you've been following along with the channel, you'll know that I was using a heat gun up until recently, until one of my subscribers recommended I should just use a handheld torch. I was always afraid of using open flame. I used a lighter when I first started my business to clean up prints, but it was causing issues. It was just getting too hot too quick. I wasn't controlled, and I was afraid to damage them. Heat gun is kind of just getting a little too inefficient at this point in the business. So switched to this torch. I got it on for $12 on Amazon. Got some butane to fill it up with, and it has made everything so much more efficient. I just blast them a little bit. Those 5 cookie cutters took about a minute. So $12 on Amazon, Sundico. Got to get some butane to fill it up when you get it. But honestly, it was phenomenal. It has immediately been added to my workstation, and the heat gun is no longer in use. I got some really cool updates regarding Amazon and the Fulfillment by Amazon program. I finally got Designs by Broadhead LLC approved by Amazon as a seller, so I no longer need to sell under the generic manufacturers tab, which is really cool. That's a big step in the right direction in terms of being able to sell my own products without really having a hassle. I'm also currently going through the process of listing the Snare Drum 2-in-1 product on Amazon. I think I'm going to be sending them 30 sets to start, 3 of 10 different colors, just to see how they go, just to have different variations on there. Going through the approval process now. They gave me the ASIN numbers. They gave me the exemption. I'm now going through the approval process with some photos and the packaging. So once I hear back in a day or so, I'm going to get those photos updated and then have that available on Amazon, start producing the stock, and then get that shipped out so it could be all Prime eligible. So I have another pretty cool product update that I haven't really shared anything about. I've been kind of doing it in the shadows, waiting to get it published so that way I can share the details with you guys. By the time you guys are seeing this, the product's going to be already listed on my website, Etsy, and basically all platforms that I can put it on immediately. So I have no problem showing you guys. But if you've been following along with my Snare Drum product line, you know that that did really well. I'm a big fan and a big proponent, a member of the marching arts community. But when that product launched, I had a lot of friends say, hey, this is really awesome, but I'm a quad drummer, or I'm a bass drummer, or I'm a cymbal player. Is there something coming down the line that could cater to me and my demographic? And I was one step ahead of them. I've got some more plans coming, and I'm doing them one at a time, but these are a little bit more intricate models, so they're taking more time, and I'm wanting to really make sure that they're good. I'm learning a lot from the snare drum product experiment and applying all of what I'm learning to everything I'm doing now moving forward. But this is my new product. So it's another desk organizer, but this caters to the quad drummers of the world. So if you've ever been in a drum line, you'll know what this looks like. This looks like a set of marching quad drums, marching tenor drums. You have Spock, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Cool. It's a desk organizer. It's one piece. It's going to have rubber stoppers on the bottom so it doesn't go anywhere like my other coasters and sets. It's got the silver matching chrome hardware and the lugs all around, and then the cutouts to fit anything you really would want to fit in here. But basically, this is my idea to cater to the quad drummers that want something on their desk to organize their stuff, something that they can look at and say, oh yeah, like something, a little memento to have. I've really enjoyed having mine on my desk. My snare drum one, I have another one being made that will cater to another specific demographic of the community. But I've been really enjoying it, and I think they're really nice to be able to look down at, and I don't know, I really like them. So I've gone ahead and made a ton of different colors. So I have a silver sparkle version, a fully black version, a blue sparkle version, black version, and then the red version that you guys saw before. So I'm going to get photos taken of these, really get good demonstrations and good examples of what they can do. And then I'm going to get these uploaded on my website and have them available to be purchased. If you guys saw my last video, you guys know that I was working on trying to figure out the best way to get my brand name or my logo on my products. For the snare drum shells, I was kind of putting it in curved words as an inscription at the bottom. After that video, my dad texted me and he's like, why aren't you putting your logo on your products? That's probably the better way to do it. I had never really thought of that. So I've tried figuring it out. I couldn't figure out the best way to do it. So I ended up messaging in the 3D printing Discord I'm in, kind of just saying like, hey guys, I know there's probably an easier way for me to do this. I can't figure it out. What am I missing? And I got to thank Logan at the Mountain Maker for stepping in and helping me immediately. He said, yes, there is definitely an easier way. Showed me very quickly how to do it. And this was the result. I was able to get my logo on the base of my product, very flush, using the other filament I was using, and it's great. My logo specifically came out great, and that's going to be on all of my products moving forward. So I got to thank Logan again for his expertise and willingness to help me and really just make this way simpler than it actually was for me. So thank you, Logan. Appreciate it always. And this really adds a lot to my products. And I don't know, I just like the idea of wherever my product goes, wherever I send it, someone looks at the bottom of this and they know, okay, this came from Designs by Broadhead. And I don't know, something about being a first-time small business owner and seeing your products go out the door all throughout the country it's a really cool feeling. So those of you that are doing this or learning this or trying this for the first time, I think you guys will be able to relate to that. If you watched my last video, you'll know that I was discussing what my options are moving forward for what printers I should add to the print farm next. So I was going back and forth with if I should get one A1 combo, two A1 combos, an A1 combo and a P1P or an X1C. And I got a lot of great recommendations from you guys, and I finally settled on what I think I'm gonna do. I ended up ordering an A1 combo on Friday. That's gonna immediately be added to my workflow, and I'm gonna move the Ender 3 V3 KE that you see right here, move everything down, put the A1 Mini all the way here, and then have all three A1 combos on these racks behind me. Then I'm going to put the KE probably in the spare bedroom or the basement. I had the P1P combo in my cart with the A1, and for like an hour or two, for some reason there was something in my gut saying like, don't get it yet. Don't get it. You don't need it immediately. Just hold off. And I agreed. I didn't buy it. I just bought the A1 combo because I'm not in a rush to start printing with those materials. I think it was a sign from above because I was able to land a Elegoo Centauri Carbon this morning during the pre-order. I wasn't really going to hop on that bandwagon so quickly until I saw the price point released this morning on the live stream. For $299, that's unbelievable. I paid more the other day for my A1 combo. And this is a Core XY machine, enclosed, with unbelievable speeds. So hopped on it immediately, got one of the pre-order ones, should be here, I think, within a month or two, but I'm really, really excited to add that to the system. So gonna have the A1 Mini and the three A1 combos in this room for now, And then I'm probably going to put the Centauri Carbon and this KE in the basement. If you guys watched the last video as well, when I showed you guys the basement and I talked about possibly moving down there, my fiance came home from work later that day and was like, oh, that's a great idea. You do know that the basement doesn't have any outlets, right? I went downstairs. There are 2 outlets in that entire basement, both of which are right next to the HVAC system where I don't want to put my printers. So gonna need to get an electrician down there, get some walls put up before I move anything down there for a studio purpose or a printing purpose, but I could still use it for other things, which I have plans for. All right, guys, it's the next morning. The A1 combo is officially out for delivery. So I'm going to go ahead and get these printers behind me moved in the right setup that I want. That way we can build the A1 and get it right in its place, ready for production. This just got dropped off from UPS. I'm going to spare you guys the setup video. Let's get this put on our rack. All right, we got it on the rack. I'm getting really good at building these A1 and A1 minis, but we got it done the calibration. It's updating the firmware now, and then I'm going to print just a normal benchy to make sure it's all working fine. I have this A1 combo printing some cable guides. I'm going to print another purge bucket for this printer as well. But I think this setup works great. I'm still toying with the idea of moving the A1 down all the way over here, just to I think it'll create more space for me because the A1 doesn't have that left leg. It will be able to hang over the rack, but I don't think that's necessarily the safest thing. So I'm going to stick with this for now. I really like this setup, and we're going to go from there. All right, test complete. Looks like it came out pretty great. I used bamboo filament just to test the RFID stuff and just make sure that the generic stuff that it handles is perfect. So it came out great. I would say that this is set up and ready for production. All right, so after I got the printer set up over the last hour or two, I took some good photos of the tenor drum desk organizers that I made. I got the listing set up on Etsy and Shopify, and they're now both live. They've been online for about an hour and a half now, and I've already got 3 orders. So I have one A1 combo behind me printing 2 of the black ones that were ordered, and then I have a gold one printing in about a couple minutes once I get the printers cleaned up. And I kind of want to clarify by what I meant. I didn't mean I just put these on Etsy and 3 people found them and already bought them. I posted them on Etsy and posted them on my Shopify and on my website. And then I go on to these Facebook groups, Instagram, Reddit groups that I'm in for the marching arts community that I'm a part of. And I advertise them to all these people that are in there. They're alumni, they're family members. Gets a lot of traction. They share it. I get them put on Drum Corps Mom Facebook pages. I just have a lot of resources to advertise these, so they get pushed out there, they start making their way, and that's how I kind of get a few sales right from the get-go. Same thing happened with the snare drum coasters and the snare drum holder. I get a few right from the get-go, and then it trickles away, but then it spreads even more through my social media, and it kind of keeps growing from there. So I didn't want to make it sound like, oh, you just have to have a good product, and then someone will find it on Etsy, and boom, you make a sale. Not how it works at all. I'm in a very niche market, and I've got a very niche product, and I'm in a very, very micro way advertising that to a very niche population of people that I think will really enjoy it. So that's kind of the route you kind of have to go. So you got these 2 black holders or 2 desk organizers printing now. This is my 2nd or 3rd time printing 2 on 1 plate. It's always been successful, but I just don't do it because it takes a long time. But this person ordered 2 in the black, so I figured let's go ahead and print both. It's going to take about 18 hours to print both of them, I believe. Yeah, about 18 hours. But it's going to cut down on the waste significantly because of the color changes. It's going to make it a little bit easier to make 2 and more cost efficient. I also wanted to show you guys the new purge buckets that I have on all of my printers. So the ones I were using, I don't know if you remember them, they had a little bit of hook. They were smaller. They weren't fitting a lot of the poop filament, so I just didn't like it. I wanted something easier. I found this on MakerWorld. This just slides off. It's a little inclined in there, so it falls to the bottom. It's bigger, pops right on. These just come right off, empty it, pop right back on. So really simple, very efficient. I've been liking them. They're better than the last ones and they hold more. And there's a ton of different sizes. I think this is the large one. They have wider ones, they have longer ones, they have like an XL one, smaller one. So I'll link that in the description. I found it on Maker World. You could also just go on Maker World and look up poop or purge bucket A1 combo, A1 mini, and you'll find a ton of them. So find ones that fit your needs exactly how you like them. I like being able to grab them and just dump them into the trash and just, that's it. So all right, fast forward about 18 hours. These just finished up. They did pretty damn well. There's one support that broke off, but it doesn't look like it affected the product at all. The supports are really just for the small details and the small overhangs. And if one breaks off, it's really not that big of a deal like the snare drum holder ones. So these are really not hard to print. They just take a while because of the filament changes. But I've not really had many failures, honestly. So maybe out of the 20 to 25 I've printed so far, I think I might have had 2 or 3 failures. And I think those are user related. I think I've didn't clean the build plate. I had the wrong build plate selected. So these came out great. I'm going to take them off and I'm going to get these packaged up so they can go out within the next hour to USPS. Those are done. Funny story. I bought these boxes like 4 months ago and thought I could fit 2 sets or 3 sets of coasters in them for multi product orders, and they didn't fit. So I was like, "Oh, should I just return them?" And I'm like, "You know what? I'll just save them. I'll be able to use them sometime later or whenever." Never used them. Didn't have a product that they fit perfectly for. Guess what? They fit these, and they fit multiple of these very well. All right, guys, other than the one holder behind me printing that's going to go out tomorrow, that's all I got for today's video. Thanks, as always, for sticking along if you've made it to this point in the video. Like if you haven't already, subscribe if you want to keep seeing more of this content. And as always, I appreciate and love the support that keeps coming my way. I'll see you guys in the next one.